Okay, let's first start with our college football DNA sports recap game of the week. Game of the week. So let's go ahead and talk about it. It's week 10 in college football here. We have the number 4 ranked Buckeyes heading to Beaver Stadium to take on the number 3 ranked Nittany Lions of Penn State. Both of these teams are coming off wins last week. Ohio State is getting a win over Nebraska, 21-17, and Penn State took down Wisconsin 28-13. Ohio State is favored in this one on the road, by the way,
which is crazy.
Yep. And this one, they have a 3.5 point favorite, at least at the time of recording. That's what it was. I check those like every time when we do these. So 3.5 point favorites going into this one on the road. Ohio State is favored on this one. The over-under line on this one is 47.5. This Ohio State team needs a big win in this one to keep their Big-10 titles hopes alive. Having 2 losses in this conference doesn't seem like it's going to get it done this year.
No, sir, it is not.
Penn State is undefeated so far, so a loss would be a lot easier for them to take over Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, Ohio State, this is a really good football team, right? They're defeating opponents on an average margin of 31 points per game right now, which is number 2 in all of college football. They're ranked top 10 nationally on both sides of the ball in success rate, EPA, which is expected points added per play, and points per scoring opportunity. So, I mean, OSU has the 9th overall ranked offense. This team is really, really effective on the offensive side of the ball. Realistically, the only statistical area of weakness that OSU is kind of bad in is they're allowing a 64% completion rate, which ranks 108th nationally. That's kind of their worst metric, really.
Well, yeah, when it comes to that, I think that's interesting because when it comes to this game, there's really a few players of mention that I want to bring up. First would be the Penn State's quarterback, Drew Aller. His health is basically being questioned currently. Most are assuming that he will be playing, but he is questionable there. Ohio State did lose their All-American left tackle, Josh Simmons, for the rest of the season.
Huge loss.
Yeah, which will affect their offense. Yeah, those kind of big 2 pieces there that stand out to me as far as this team goes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and for Ohio State, I mean, Will Howard's their quarterback. He's been healthy. He's been fantastic. Obviously, last year he transferred in from Kansas State University. Kind of hard to argue with that decision at this point. I mean, he's completing a ridiculous number at 74% of his throws right now. He's got a great group of wideouts to kind of work with. And the Buckeyes pass game currently ranks 2nd in success rate. So those guys are having a lot of success throwing the football down the field. And really, I mean, their only loss is to number 1 Oregon. So they're still alive, but they, like you said, they can't take another loss in this game. For Penn State, these guys have really cruised, right? They're 7-0. I mean, their closest game this year so far has been a 33-30 win over. I mean, it was a close game in that game against USC, but their offense has been fantastic. They're 3rd in success rate and 8th in EPA per play. And they have the 13th overall ranked offense. So this is really 2 high-powered offensive and high-powered defensive teams. The Penn State defense has been outstanding this year. They're ranked 4th in overall defense. They're only allowing 267 yards per game, but they have struggled to get to the quarterback. You know, when they're only averaging a 6% sack rate right now, which is 59th nationally. Mm-hmm. When that's your one area of weakness is getting to the quarterback, and you have a team that's as effective as Ohio State in throwing the football down the field, you're going to need to make sure that you bring your A game, because you could get in a lot of trouble if you can't get to him and put some pressure, because they're going to need to apply some pressure to him. Like you said, Drew Aller, typically he's under center for Penn State, but Aller did sustain a knee injury last week in that game. So his availability is actually kind of in question for this game. And that actually has caused the line to swing. It's swung almost 3 points since they announced Aller is kind of on a day-to-day. They're not sure if he's going to be available. So if he doesn't go, they do have a great backup, Bo Prabula, but he's completed 29 of his 44 career passes. So he's made 44 career passes, not a lot, but he has had, almost 250 yards in those passes. He's really one of those quarterbacks. His strength is all in his legs. He's rushed in his career so far 468 yards, which is good for 6 yards a carry. I think this is going to, if Pribula does end up playing, it is going to help, I think, that team a little bit, right? Because Ohio State is planning on seeing Aller. Being the backup, obviously has its advantages. This is a really talented quarterback. So, if he does get the nod, I expect him to be up to the task. This guy's not just going to be thrown in there and completely surprised. He'll be ready, and he could very well add a wrinkle to that OSU defense that they might have trouble accounting for a really mobile quarterback, because that's not what Aller is, right? Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. This game's going to be a dogfight, man. This is going to be the good old-fashioned Big-10 matchup. comes down to a couple of plays in the end of the game, regardless of the quarterback situation. But I think Penn State being at home, Beaver Stadium is an absolute nightmare for opposing teams to come into. I'm going to predict Penn State 24, OSU 20 on this one.
Okay. I like it. I don't know, man. I just think the loss of Simmons, this team really is going to be too much for this team to overcome. It's really thrown that offense out of whack for the Buckeyes, losing Simmons. So
yeah,
I definitely think it's going to keep their offense out of whack. I've got Penn State winning this one 28-17.
Oh, nice.
So both of those, I think we're taking the under on that.
Yeah,
47.5.
Yep.
So we're both going under on that one. So that's interesting.
Two great defensive teams, though.
Yes.
So two really, really talented defensive teams.
But yeah, we want to hear from you folks. Let us know in the comments down below what you think about this game of the week. This, the Ohio State versus Penn State, the number 3 and the number 4 ranked teams coming into this matchup.
Yep.
Sidebar on that one. Why is Penn State number 3?
They haven't lost yet.
Yeah. Why aren't they number 2? Georgia has a loss.
Correct.
So that's why I'm like, hang on a second. How does that work?
Yeah, I mean, you got to remember, these are just the AP metrics, right? So these are all graded on like strength of schedule and how did you win? And in these AP rankings, all of your style points win. So to go out there and just knock somebody out of the park, like for all we know, Penn State only beating USC 33-30 could be the reason that they're number 3 and not number 2.
I guess that also makes sense because Miami's also 8-0.
Yeah.
So
Iowa State, BYU.
Yeah.
I mean, all undefeated teams.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just think that's funny in the top 25 poll rank that you can. So I guess you're right. 6-1, and that one loss was to that's Ohio State. Ohio State lost to Oregon.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I just thought it was a little weird to not see them in the top 25 above Georgia when they're undefeated in the Big-10. I guess SEC football just always.
They're Georgia, right? Man.
That's just how that works, for sure. So let's go ahead and continue on that, folks. Again, we want to hear from you. Let us know in the comments down below what you think about this game. Are you agreeing with us? Do you think that Penn State's going to win this one? Let us know in the comments down below. As a reminder, folks, we just hit 1,000 subscribers on this channel. If you have not yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Now this channel is monetized. We're giving the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to y'all. 5 subscribers are each going to earn $100 each. So if you have not yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on that giveaway.
Yep. Make sure, maybe tune into our live stream. Yeah, check it out. If you're watching on YouTube, one of our short videos, know this is available as a podcast, whole episode. Check it out.
That's right. And also look down at the merch store down below. Check it out.
Yeah, we got good stuff down there.
Yeah,
good stuff.
Check it out.